Robbinsville Lady Knights set to make their way out onto the court as we welcome you to Graham County, North Carolina. This is the home of the Robbinsville High School athletic program that the Graham Stars Sports Network spends so much of its time dedicating the cause to. And why do we do it? All in the name of spotlighting these young men and women that give all their efforts, all their time. And we love spotlighting and we love doing what we do here at the Graham Stars Sports Network. And tonight, you're going to see a very unusual matchup. Robbinsville Volleyball coming into this one tonight, 10-2 overall on the season, fresh off a sweep of the Hiwassee Dam Lady Eagles on Thursday night, 25-13, 25-10, and rinse and repeat for the third set. Their opponents tonight have never played Robbinsville High School in a volleyball game that we could find on record. I'm sure someone out there might have a note of one, but to the best of our knowledge, we cannot find any instance where Robbinsville hosted or even traveled to Basin High School right across the state line in Polk County, Tennessee. Copper Hill, of course, right away from Hiwassee Dam High School. So it's interesting to note that we've never seen this program before in volleyball, but they're here tonight, and we're here with you as well on the Graham Star Sports Network. We appreciate you being with us wherever you may be tuned in here tonight. All of you great White Knight, Lady Knight, or Lady Cougars fans. We broadcast other sports with Copper Basin. Softball, baseball, basketball come to mind. Not a single time have we seen it for volleyball action, but tonight that changes. We welcome you to Robbinsville High School. Kevin Hensley with you here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Well, we're in the second warm-up period for Robbinsville Volleyball, so we're starting a little bit late. The Lady Cougars rolled in to the high school here about 4:30, 4:35 or so. Needed a little bit of time to get their sea legs off, so to speak, and we'll be set to go in just a moment. So when we come back, we're going to show you the introduction of our starting lineups. We'll have the playing of our national anthem, and we'll have set number one. We stream 5 varsity sports, and that includes Lady Knights Volleyball. You're about to watch it right here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Please stay with us. And the Lady Cougars, number 1, Alexis Hyatt. Number 7, Sarah Collis. Number 8, Kendra Deal. Number 9, Kinsley Balloon. Number 11, Cora Kinsey. Number 13, Nicole Marie. Number 14, Zoe Green. Number 24, Riley Atkin. Number 32, Riley Hall. Number 33, Peyton Grabowski. And 99, Kaylee Hall. And now for your Robbinsville Lady Knights, a senior number 1, Delaney Boone. A sophomore number 2, Third Manning. A junior number 3, Claire Barlow. A sophomore number 8, Ben Hooper. A junior number 11, Olivia Lewis. A senior number 14, Tia Hall. Another senior number 16, Aubrey Wachacha. And a junior number 20, Liz Carpenter. Back out of the darkness here at Robbinsville High School. Kevin Hensley with you on the Graham Star Sports Network, juggling about 4,826 different duties tonight. But couldn't ask for anything better to do on a Monday evening than bring you Lady Knights volleyball action here on the Graham Star Sports Network. This will be the only time, fans, that we're going to see our Lady Knights this week. Thursday's matchup at Swain County is the resumption of conference play, and from this point on tonight, Robbinsville only has one more non-conference matchup on their slate. That will be a trek to Franklin on Monday, October the 2nd. That's 2 weeks from now. And I don't believe we'll be able to stream that one. We'll check with our friends over in Franklin, but I do believe they have their own sports network, as does Swain County. If you want to see that game Thursday night, go follow them on YouTube. It's the Maroon Devils Network. That's the way you watch that game. It's absolutely free. What we're doing here, of course, is a portion of the proceeds from every pay-per-view purchase goes right back to the program that you paid to watch. So tonight, with you securing your access to Lady Knights volleyball, guess what? A portion of that goes right back to the Lady Knights volleyball program at the end of the season. Cougars set to go. Haley Hall will be teeing off, if you will, for Copper Basin here in our opening set, and it is a service error right off the bat. Robbinsville jumps ahead 1-0. Lady Knights on quite the run right now, as a matter of fact, in conference and non-conference play. As we mentioned, 10-2 overall on the season. First, here's Aubrey Wachacha, who leads the Smoky Mountain Conference. And how about Claire Barlow with a nice little spike to definitively put that one down 2-0 here in set one. Wachacha again. And there's an ace. You see why. That's a tough serve. She has been in a zone lately, to say the very least. And it is 3-0. We'll get the scoreboard updated as quick as technology catches up with us. We can only push the button so many times, fans. Returned by the Cougars. Here's Ren Hooper's pass over to the left side. Liz Carpenter with a nice spike that the libero could not handle. That is number 24 in your program, Riley Aikens, unable to handle that one. And it's now 4-0. Robbinsville here in the opening set. Hard spike again. That one's going to go out almost onto the Basin bench, as a matter of fact. Lady Knights have won 7 straight. Their only losses this year have came in non-conference competition and against bigger schools. Franklin Panthers coming in and defeating Robbinsville in 4 in the season opener. And Lady Knights defeated Asheville the next night, but the following Thursday fell to the Lady Cougars in the return bout in 5 sets in Buncombe County. That's the only 2 losses on Robbinsville's docket this year. As we said, they are now 10-2. Service error will make it 5-2 Robbinsville here in set number 1. As we mentioned, one of our 2 season-long sponsors, you see them in the bottom right corner of the screen. That's Blevins Electric and Blevins Insurance Agency here in Robbinsville. That one past the outreached hands of Liz Carpenter will make it 5-3. Cougars get the ball back. It'll be number 8, Kendra Deal, going to the service line. For Copper Basin, they have one common opponent with Robbinsville, aforementioned Hiawassee Dam. And why not? That's a Highway 294 rivalry, if you'll have it. 294, of course, North Carolina side of that. Turns into Highway 68 when you climb over into Tennessee. Hooper pass. Here's Delaney Brooms with a hard spike. Brooms, leader in the conference in kills, makes it 6-3 on GramStarSports.com. Lady Knights have swept Hiawassee Dam both times they've played them this season. Meanwhile, the Lady Cougars were swept by Hiawassee Dam at the start of the year and went to 5 sets with them just a week or so ago, but ultimately fell there as well as Waddy, I beg your pardon, gets a service ace. Sorry, Sasha, if you're watching this in the future. 7-3 for the libero, Surrey Waddy. And she'll slam that one into the net. And I'll make it 7-4 here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Back at the line now is number 32. That's going to be Riley Hall coming in with the jump serve. Nice shot, but mistimed it just a little bit. And that'll double Robbinsville's advantage to 8-4. As we said, it's the only action at home this week for Robbinsville, and the only stream we'll have of Lady Knights volleyball. We will be back on the airwaves Friday night, though. Claire Barlow with a service ace. How about that? 9-4. Robbinsville varsity football action back on the airwaves Friday night. We'll try to get our stream started between 7 and 7:15. Course kickoff at 7:30. It'll be against the highly touted Raven Gap Eagles out of Georgia, right across the state line from Franklin, as a matter of fact. And that tip at the line by the Cougars was no bueno. It is now 4-10 Robbinsville here in set one. Barlow still serving. Another ace for Claire Barlow. They're going to rack up quickly here tonight, I believe, for the Lady Knights. As we said, they're just cooking all over the floor. It's frankly made my job a little bit more difficult because when the narrative is that you're good and you know you're good and you're winning and you can't stop winning, well, there's consistency in that. But eventually, as a sports writer / reporter, I guess you get to a point where it's tough to just keep saying, man, these girls are good, but they are. They're great. They're fluid. Again, the only real Achilles heel for Robbinsville this year is their roster size. They've only got 8 that they dress out. You see them on the bench there, Tia Hall and Olivia Lewis chatting with assistant coach Kinsley Phillips, the all-time school record holder in digs, as a matter of fact. Back at the line now is going to be number 33. That's going to be Peyton Grabowski, or Grabowski if you'll have it. That's a tough one. Here's Wachacha in the middle. Hard spot. It's going to go out. And the Cougars get another one. That may be only their first time tonight having 2 in a row go in the score column. Hard shot. And an ace for Grabowski. That was nice to see. And that'll make it 12-7. Advantage Robbinsville, of course, here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Tough attendance here tonight. It's a little sparse, not going to lie. It's a Monday night game. That shouldn't mean much, right? Well, school's out today. Robbinsville on a 4-day holiday. Robbinsville was out of school as far as back as Friday, and will return to normalcy tomorrow. So Aubrey Wachacha's tip will make it 8-13 here on the Gramstar Sports Network. And back at the line now for the first time tonight is going to be Miss Delaney Brooms with Lady Knights up by 5. Lifelong participant of this sport, Delaney Brooms fell in love with volleyball at a very early age. Wachacha tried a quick how do you do up front. It eventually worked. 8-14. Riley Aiken's best efforts at the shot from the back row. No dice. Brooms has competed at the Excel Academy out of Hendersonville for quite some time. Travel ball action. Service error there, however, for Miss Brooms will end the run. Robbinsville 14, Copper Basin 9 here in set 1. And that one's going to be a little too hard off the palm of Nicole Marie. Makes it 9-15, and that should summon, I believe, Olivia Lewis in, and it does. Lewis, the number 5 in the rotation. here tonight. So a little bit of a different lineup. Normally Bruns ends it, and Wachacha compliments her as the 1 to her 6, of course, in the rotation. That's not going to be the case tonight, it doesn't look like. And hey, Katie Phillips has been experimenting quite a bit the last few weeks with these lineups, these rotations. And call on the floor goes against Robbinsville. Copper Basin in double digits now on the Graham Star Sports Network. It's 10-15. Advantage Lady Knights. And as we always do, fans, our core product, of course, is the Graham Star. That's been your hometown newspaper for all things Graham County, North Carolina since 1955. We'll recap it in this week's edition, along with the latest JV football coverage. Of course, the Robbinsville varsity football team was off last week. Enjoyed its bye week. And boy, did the Black Knights need it this week with the team coming into town. Raven Gap. Block attempt no good. Able to snuff it out. Good work. And the volley continues. Waddy to Hooper. Quick flick by Carpenter. And that throws everybody for a loop on Basin's side of the net. And they touched it one time too many. It's going to be 10-16 on GrahamStarSports.com. And we'll go back to the service line. Aubrey Wachacha. What a nice save. And Aikens able to salvage that one for the Cougars. But there's junior middle hitter Claire Barlow making them pay. Barlow, no slouch. Brought a nice block attack to the offense, or defense, I guess you'll have it, last year for Robbinsville. Powerful hitter up front. Still, I believe, has not realized her full potential. It's just keeping her from trying to kill herself every game. At least one time a match, it seems like Barlow ends up banged up in some form or fashion out there. Already played through a busted chin. Maybe a concussion. Not at Murphy, where she fell susceptible to leg cramps 2 different times. And it's a double touch by the Cougars. Makes it 10-18 here in set number 1. Here's Wachacha. And the service error will go out, so it'll go back over to Copper Basin. It'll be 11-18 here in set 1. Back at the line is Alexis Hyatt. She is a star softball player for Copper Basin. We see them quite a bit in other athletics, as we said at the top of our telecast. Could not find an instance where Robbinsville and Copper Basin have ever met in volleyball action. That one drops. And I'll make it 12-18 on GrahamStarSports.com. Be with us anytime, fans. We have a home game. You see Robbinsville is going to be at home. Chances are we'll have it live. We stream 5 varsity sports as Hyatt records an ace. We have baseball, softball, volleyball, basketball, and, of course, football action. Copper Basin has quietly built its way back up to a 5-point deficit. Nice coverage by Hooper. Good bump. Hard spike. And, boy, that came out of nowhere. Grabowski just made the Lady Knights back row wake up, I believe. And that'll make it 14-18 here in set 1. Been a very methodical matchup so far. Pass. And a shot there by Riley Hall will go nowhere. Blocked. And Copper Basin will get the point. Carpenter smacked it out of bounds. You can't do that. And don't look now. Basin down by 3. And service error gives it right back to Robbinsville. There has been no dice as far as timeouts called yet here tonight. And Liz Carpenter serves off screen. I beg your pardon, Miss Carpenter. And the Cougars are battling here in set 1. And to say the least, they are very fired up about it. Score should be 16-19. It is. Ace for Basin. 2-point ball game. Kendra Dill at the service line for the Lady Cougars from Polk County, Tennessee. Barlow's pass. Here's Brooms. Brooms again. Tipped that time. That'll beat the defense. Nice audible called on the second attempt. Hey, doesn't work the first time. Try it again. I don't think that's the adage, but we'll go with it. $17-20 your score here on GramstarSports.com. Surrey Waddy with a nice ace. Waddy now with 2 of those on the evening. Good to see that. $21-17 now. And why not another one? Back-to-back aces for Surrey Waddy here in the latter stages. That's big for Robbinsville, as Lady Knights are just trying to escape this one. Copper Basin has woke up and shook off the bus rust, if you'll have it. And they're playing tough here in set 1. Lady Knights able to complete the play. Nice work, and it's 2 to go now. Claire Barlow with the kill. Waddy a little apprehensive to get that one off, and I guess so was everyone else. Another ace down the stretch here for Miss Waddy. That's 3 since she stepped to the service line just a moment ago. 5 straight points for Robbinsville, and it is going to be set point for Waddy and the Lady Knights. Nicely defended by Akins on the back row. Carpenter just kind of froze up there for a moment. And the Cougars are down 18-24. Boy, what a serve. And that one right through the libero's hands. That's going to do it for set number 1. 18-25. Lady Knights will step aside and be back in not 1, not 2, but 3 minutes on the Gramstar Sports Network. Back live from Robbinsville High School. It is 1-0 Lady Knights here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Kevin Hensley with you from Robbinsville, North Carolina. As you see, the Lady Knights breaking the huddle, coming off an 18-25 victory in our opening stanza, and they'll get opening serve. And that spells danger for any opponent this year, because you have, as you see, 2 of the 3 seniors doing their celebratory, or customary, I should say, warm-up routine. That's Aubrey Wachacha. You see stoically, confidently, if you will, strutting back to the service line here in set number 2. Cougars made a mad run, if you'll have it, at the end of set 1. Tried to make things interesting. Got within 3. But Lady Knights pieced together a few good plays. Surrey Waddy had 3 aces. And here we are. All systems go, it looks like, on GramstarSports.com. Here's Wachacha firing it off. Pass goes over, and that'll be returned by Kendra Dill for Copper Basin. Here's Liz Carpenter. A fake out by Lady Knights, but a little too much on it, and it's 1-0 Cougars. And number 99, Taylor Hall, will fire the rocket off for the Cougars. It's going to be an ace for Copper Basin. 2-0 here in set 2. Passes all around, greeted by Carpenter and Hooper. Or Brooms, who traded back and forth. Carpenter's return. Here's Hooper set. There's a spike by Claire Barlow. No doubter. Robbinsville on the board. 2-1 here in set 2. Brings to the stage, if you'll have it, Liz Carpenter, junior multi-sport athlete, as many of them are here at Robbinsville High School. You're a 1A classification. Sometimes you got to play about 3 or 4 sports, maybe even 5 if you can manage it. Get through a school year. Service error for Miss Carpenter has given Copper Basin a 3-1 nod. And a very, very hard spike there by Alexis Hyatt for the Cougars. Pass, return, Carpenter to Wren Hooper. Barlow with a good kill attempt, but it's snuffed out by Copper Basin. There's Tia Hall with a nice smack on the right side. Grabowski making life hectic now for Robbinsville. Here's Brooms, tips, and everybody thrown off on the backside of the net. 3-2. Robbinsville down at the moment. Does not seem like that's going to last very long. Hard shot. Blocked. And Barlow plays it. Return by Brooms. Spike off the back by Aikens, the libero. See her with the bright red jersey on. That's Copper Basin's home colors. Now, of course, they're donning the dark grays with the red trim. We're all knotted up at 3-all on the Gramstar Sports Network with the ever-dangerous Surrey Waddy at the service line. And Waddy with a service error. Right back into the advantage of the Lady Cougars here in set 2. Here's Kendra Deal set to fire it off for Copper Basin. Returned by Brooms. Here's the pass. Grabowski with a big spike in the middle. Carpenter defends it nicely on the back row. Here's Wachacha. High return. Pass by Malley. And that one eventually drops. Cougars just kind of ran out of room there, if you'll have it. Nicole Malley could not do much with it. Marie, excuse me. 4-4 here in set 2. Claire Barlow will now serve for Robbinsville. Barlow, a state qualifier in long jump last year for track and field. Another great athlete. Nobody ready for that one except Robbinsville. Cougars failed to communicate, and you see the end result. Lady Knights have, believe it or not, their first lead of set 2. And the ace for Barlow will make it 4-6. Cougars' record on max preps, and I'm sure this is not entirely accurate because, well, not all their games are on max preps. At the moment, they have 10 games logged. They are 500. They are 5-5 this year. Block attempt in the middle goes into the net. Circle gets the square. It's 4-7. And Copper Basin has called the first timeout of the matchup. Can you believe that? We'll be right back, fans. Stay with us on the Gramstar Sports Network.
I'm Delaney Brooms, and you're watching GramstarSports.com.
Thank you, Miss Brooms. Back live from Robbinsville High School. It is now 4-7 in favor of the home standing Lady Knights. We had a fun time trying to shoot those bumpers earlier this year with our Lady Knights. A lot of bloopers that one day we'll have to unearth and put up somewhere for everyone's enjoyment. How about an ace for Barlow as her stint at the service line continues? She's got several service aces here tonight. Every week in the Graham Star, we have stat leaders broken down in our box scores for Robbinsville and who led what category: aces, assists, blocks, digs, kills, service receptions. And sometimes there's a clear-cut winner, and sometimes when we leave a match, fans, quite frankly, we don't know who's led a certain category. There's only one thing we're incapable of doing with everything we got going on, and that's keeping up with stats. Okay, illegal touch by the Lady Knights. That'll be Copper Basin's first point in a while, as a matter of fact. Ends a 6-0 run for Robbinsville, and it's now 5-9. And Riley Hall's delivery from the back row will find the outer reaches of the court. That wasn't her intention, of course. Makes it 5-10. Delaney Brooms will now serve for Robbinsville. Lady Knights with 3 seniors on the team this year: Brooms, Wachacha, and Tia Hall, who you saw in action earlier. That one pokes right by Barlow, and I'll make it 6-10. Peyton Grabowski will check in and deliver a nice jump serve. Brooms with a sliding reception. Return pushed by Wachacha. Is going to be a little bit too powerful. 6'2 senior. And in case you're wondering, scratching your head at home wondering, yes, she is the starting center for the Lady Knights basketball team. That team made program history last year. We are working on something very special to commemorate that. Still in the works. Hit a few snags along the way, but we're still rolling along with production. And we can't wait to bring it to you as soon as we are able to. We're hoping to have it ready by basketball season. And that may still occur. We'll see how everything shakes out. I don't want to say too much about it. Spoil the surprise. Lady Knights made it to the Western Regional Finals. That's one round before the state championship last year. And pitted against the defending state champions, Bishop McGinnis, hung tough. Ultimately fell. First time the program had ever advanced to the Western Finals in basketball. 7-12 will be the spread now on GramStarSports.com. Olivia Lewis, the defensive specialist, listed how so in the roster, will fire off again. I'll say Lewis's mother with us tonight. Anna Stewart is the head coach of the middle school team that is doing exceedingly well this year. They're 5-1 on the campaign. Look at their first action of the week, and matter of fact, in about the last week and a half, actually. Be a week exactly. I'll check that. Thursday at Swain County. Spike by Carpenter is going to be good. It's going to be 8-13 now as we go back to the top of the service rotation. The daunting Aubrey Wachacha will look to break through for Robbinsville as we're at the midway point of our second set. That one drops. Alexis Hyatt just could not get a beat on that. Try as she may. Fell right below us here. 8-14 now. Cha-Cha struggled a little bit tonight behind the line with that line drive serve. A lot of power. And when she is locked and loaded, about impossible to hit. Substitution coming for Copper Basin. Cougars are set to serve, but I don't think they know it. Finally get it to number 99, Taylor Hall. We started this, fans, in January of 2021 on Just a Game Live, if many of you remember that era. Robbinsville, of course, had paid for that service to stream games at the height of the COVID pandemic when the crowd sizes were sadly limited. North Carolina had extremely strict rules compared to surrounding states. 25 fans allowed in a gymnasium per team. And you can have 25 fans in the stands just with parents alone coming to some of these games. So that made it tough. And we picked up and decided to do it after the 2020-2021 school year rolled out. And we did it the entire year after for free on our Facebook page. And that one is going to be out. Service error for Taylor Hall, and that'll end the streak. Surrey Waddy struts back to the line. Robbinsville up 10-16. Robbinsville in the fall of 21 reaching the Western Regional Finals in football, and we had that game for free on our Facebook page. And it was at the moment where we saw 500 fans watching at the same time live that we thought to ourselves, let's help out the athletic program here at Robbinsville High School. We could be charging a slip of money if you'll have it. Basin got that point. It'll make it 11-16. And that's kind of how we birthed what we're doing now on the Gramstar Sports Network. We launched it last year and had a lot of issues to work out. Midway through basketball season, we got there. And this year, really the first time we're able to do volleyball and football the way it should be. And your donations, your contributions helped give thousands of dollars back to the Robbinsville Athletic Program last season. And frankly, fans, we hope that's the case this year as well with your business. 12-16 is the nod at the moment. Copper Basin hanging tough here in set number 2. Pass from Hooper, left side to Delaney Brooms. Point goes to Robbinsville. They're going to say that one was, or excuse me, goes to Copper Basin, I beg your pardon. They're going to say that ball was out of bounds. It's a 3-point ball game. Wow. Shouldn't keep saying that. Basin is playing tough tonight. Robbinsville on such a hot streak. And the block definitively up front. Delivered by Riley Hall and Peyton Grabowski. But it goes out of bounds. Good effort. Claire Barlow's back at the service line for Robbinsville in a now 13-17 matchup. Set 2 underway. We will stream playoff coverage as much as we can the way things are going. Robbinsville's going to be in the dance somewhere. And a block up front will take care of that point. Lady Knights get the volley. And it's now 13-18. Service error by Barlow. And we're back to a 4-point ball game on the Gramstar Sports Network. Riley Hall at the line for Copper Basin. No JV matchup tonight. We thought, until this morning, that the junior varsity would have a matchup against Basin at 5. We had it scheduled as such on our website. Big play for the Cougars, make it 15-18. Katie Phillips, the head coach for the Lady Knights, who has really been over the turnaround of this program's reputation and success hand in hand here at Robbinsville High School. Trying to root on our team. Service error will help. That'll give us a chance to get back to the line. 15-19 with a veteran at the back, Delaney Brooms. Pass from Alley, and Taylor Hall crumbles to the ground. Kill attempt goes into the net. 15-29 your score. ace again is 15-21. Brooms with a powerful shot. Received nicely by Akins on the back row. Returned by Grabowski. Kill goes out. 16-21 is going to be your nod at the moment. Grabowski goes to the service line here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Service error signaled by our line judge. 3 to go for the Lady Knights here in set number 2. Lewis checks in as Hooper checks out. Brent Hooper has had a few chances at the service line this year. Mixed results, but a few chances nonetheless. And double tap by the Cougars. Robbinsville gets the point, and they need just 2 more to exit this one with a 2-0 advantage. Of course, here in North Carolina, it is best 3 out of 5. Tennessee as well plays that series. However, Georgia plays 2 out of 3. Here's Wachacha. Hesitated for a moment, but got there eventually. Cougars have some fresh bodies in there that, frankly, fans I have not familiarized myself with on the roster just yet. A lot of the starters getting a breather. That one skedaddled over the net. Carpenter made sure that one cleared the net. And it's set point. Here's Olivia Lewis looking to close it out. Checking in off the bench. As a defensive specialist, she will not be on the front row unless she changes positions. High spike, and that one would have dropped in. Good read by Brooms. Veteran presence back there on the back row read that one nicely. Here's Hall with a smack. And it goes into the net. Basin still alive. It's 17-24. On to the line to serve is going to be Nicole Marie, number 13, for Copper Basin. Brooms passes to Hooper, who passes to Wachacha, who screams the 25th point over the net in the form of a kill. Fans, Robbinsville up 2-0 here in the contest. And we'll step aside while both teams take a breather once again here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Well, the little tyke was trying to crawl. And, of course, see the end result. Effort was for naught, I suppose. Back with you live from Robbinsville High School. Lady Knights a little late out of the locker room. We were wondering if they were going to make it out by the final buzzer, but they're here in plenty of time. Copper Basin will have the serve to begin us here in our third stanza tonight. Robbinsville is going to have the advantage, though, win, lose, or draw. They're up 2-0 in the contest at this point. Kevin Hensley with you on the Gramstar Sports Network. We are your exclusive home for athletics all year long and beyond. I don't know what Aubrey Wachacha is getting accosted for, but I'm sure we'll find out later. Over here off screen, it will be Basin's serve to begin our third set. Robbinsville, as we mentioned, 10-2 this year. Of that, Lady Knights have recorded 8 shutouts, I beg your pardon. In other words, 3-0 sweeps. Set 3 underway. Here's Elizabeth Carpenter with a nice spike over the net. She will kill me for calling her that. And it drops to the floor. Basin gets the opening point again, as they did in the second set. Haley Hall is your server for Copper Basin, number 99 in your program. Brooms tried a jump spike from the back row, and the Cougars have a 2-0 lead in the aftermath. Service there goes out. Basin gives up the point. Robbinsville on the board. It is 2-1. Aubrey Wachacha to serve. Lady Knights staring at possibly their 9th sweep of the year and their 11th win. In case you're wondering, it is Murphy and Asheville are the only two schools that have actually scored or taken sets, I should say, against Robbinsville in a Lady Knights victory this season. Robbinsville defeated Murphy in 4 at Murphy on August the 29th. Lady Knights still down 3-2 here in set 3. Liz Carpenter to serve. Nice effort. Boy, Haley Hall and Riley Aikens making sure that one's covered. To the floor. Carry called. Tied set. Robbinsville was scheduled to see Copper Basin before the season started in a scrimmage that was held here the Friday before real action began. Ace will give the Lady Knights a lead. It's 3-4. Carpenter still serving. Copper Basin unable to make it at the last minute. That one is out. You see Robbinsville High School principal David Matheson watching the proceedings. Matheson's daughter, Carla Matheson, the first ever Robbinsville Lady Knight to win the honor of Conference Player of the Year in volleyball. She was the middle hitter on that 2019 team that captured so much magic. Super talented, went 25-3 and found their way to the Elite Eight of the state playoffs, ultimately falling to a charter school. Sorry, I had to. Couldn't help it. It was actually a home game here in 2019. We were not streaming then, so we have no footage of it, unfortunately. That one drops. Tied set here in the third. Riley Hall at the net for Copper Basin. Powerful shot. Waddy with the reception. Carpenter behind the back pass. Brooms with a double X handle will fling it back over. Work on the side by Haley Hall to keep it alive for the Cougars. Action picking up here in set 3. Block up front. Brooms and Barlow tried to tag team it. And Brooms got it that time. Volleys are starting to get a little more intense. That's good to see. Momentum picking up. Both teams should be cozy out there by now for sure. 5-6 is the score here in set 3. Sliding dive. There's Malley to Hull. And that one was apparently a neutral zone violation, I guess is what we'll call that, layman's terms. On Robbinsville, makes it 6-6 here in set 3. Here's Grabowski with a powerful shot. Pass behind by Carpenter. Brooms with a line drive that they return into the second row. Still waiting for Liz Carpenter's mother to play that one off the shins, and she didn't even budge. 6-7 now here in set 3. Brooms powers it off. And a nice kill by Carpenter on the left side. 6-8 now. It's going to be your score substitution coming for Copper Basin. Kendra Dill tagging in. Kinsley Ballou tagging out. That's Ballou, B-A-L-L-E-W, excuse my extremely southern drawl. Barlow was out of rotation, I believe they're going to say. Rare snafu for Robbinsville. Barlow trying to explain herself. I don't believe the official is going to buy the argument, so to speak. They're trying to say Barlow was supposed to be right by Waddy in that rotation. It's all fun and games until the serve is up, and at that point, it's a violation. So it'll actually be 7-8 Copper Basin. Malley still serving. Marie, I'm sorry, I keep getting her name wrong for some odd reason. There's Wachacha. Nice spike in the middle. 7-9, and as far as we know, Robbinsville's in the correct spots now. Show you how far this program's came. Katie Phillips, a 2012 Lady Knights graduate for Robbinsville High School. Played on some very good teams for the Lady Knights. She told me a story last year that'll just really put things in perspective. When her and the team went to a camp at a very, very well-known college. I won't give away the name. The coaches there were trying to tell Robbinsville to get into their rotation, and Phillips and company quickly responded with, "What's a rotation?" And learned a lot from there. Now she's over the program, has done a great job, eclipsed 100 career wins as the head coach. She took over in 2017. This is her, you can believe this, 8th year over the program. That one's out. Service error. Kind of had a weird spiral to it. And it makes it 8-10. Surrey Waddy in, as is Ren Hooper. Olivia Lewis hanging out on the back. Cora Kimsey out now for Copper Basin. Back in is going to be Riley Hall. In this 2-point set, Taylor Hall patiently awaiting the opportunity to serve. Wachacha, nice spike, but it's out. Basin is threatening to tie this set up here on the Gramstar Sports Network. Liz Carpenter with a nice return. Here's Carpenter again, a tip. Hyde and Carpenter traded back and forth. Still alive. Copper Basin ball. Pushed by Grabowski. And it's right off of Hooper and then Brooms' fingertips. But boy, did they try. How about the Cougars coming back and tying this one here in set 3? Copper Basin has not been this close in any of the sets so far. After the early goings, if they've had a lead, it's quickly dissipated. That is not the case right now. The ball tipped over by Liz Carpenter, and the Cougars are held off 10-11. Aubrey Wachacha will serve. Riley Hall tried to get to that one, couldn't do so, got tangled up at the bleachers. was just trying to cause serious harm by diving into the bleachers right here below us. Oh, there's that powerful line drive serve we've talked about all night. Wachacha just broke it out, cleared the net. Barlow with the finish and polish up front. Score is 10-13. Injured reached for it, couldn't get there. And Copper Basin tied it. Robbinsville's willing a 4-0 run in response. It helps that the divisional leader in aces is at the service line, I suppose. Obviously a team effort. Tough serves like that. So the ball was out. (10-15) here in set 3. Tip by Barlow. Everything still aces at the moment. Hall with a nice spike. Robbinsville with a good block. And Taylor Hall tried a headstand to get to it. Couldn't get there, though. And Robbinsville's hot streak continues. 10-16 is your score here in set number 3. Robbinsville just 9 away from closing out another sweep tonight in Graham County. Gotcha. Patiently dribbling the ball. And it will be a service error. That'll end the streak where it stands. A 7-0 run for the Lady Knights. Score is 11-17. Jump serve by Hyatt. Brooms tries to defend it with a push. Nice work by Carpenter. 11-18 now your score. She'll go back to serve now after getting the point. 7 to go for Robbinsville. Carpenter already in motion. She's ready to go. Good to see that. That's an ace for Liz Carpenter. 11-19. Yes.
Basketball.
Yes.
We had to ask. But can you play Taylor Swift?
Maybe.
Wait, Taylor.
Oh, no, I know about that. No promises on that. How can I take so much of that?
You have Spotify?
Yes.
You want to look at?
That's where I played it from last week. Sorry, guys. Tried to do a broadcast, getting hit up for Taylor Swift songs over here. After we go off the air, there'll be random open gym basketball, and I've been asked to DJ it, so guess we'll make that happen. I'm being told exactly by Abby Ware, and if you know Abby Ware, of course I'm being told by Abby Ware what to do.
Like you did last time.
Yeah, I've got the thing right here. I can totally do that. Yeah. You're welcome. So now I can't play Taylor Swift, right, guys? There we go. Spike into the net by Miss Brooms. It's going to be an error up front. Basin now. One last final heave here if you'll have it. It's 13-20. By raging on the Graham Star Sports Network. And a mistimed dive. And boy, I'll tell you what, Hall, not thrilled with that. As a matter of fact, I think a jawing from her coach off court as well for that behavior. Obviously frustrated with things and the way they're playing out here tonight. Gets a shot of redemption, blocked by Barlow and Brooms. Nice work. That one's over the net. Point Cougars. Say the Lady Knights might have made contact. 14-21. Hall at the line. That one served into the net. 14-22. Claire Barlow to serve. Ball's out. Another ace for Barlow. She's backed up several of those tonight, and 2 away from the W. Another ace for Barlow. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe the punctuation mark here. It's going to be. Albert Basin falls susceptible to several miscues down the stretch, and that's going to be your ball game, fans. Final set scores 18, 17, and 14 to 25 in favor of Robbinsville at the end of each and every set. Fans, we appreciate you being with us here on the Gramstar Sports Network. This has been another fun one to broadcast for you tonight.